I got a God, don't change with a season.
Don't let anybody put anything on you that will cause you to forget what God put in you. That goes for your struggles. See, I think Jacob, his name means supplanter, but his new name, Israel, is almost just as bad. It means struggles with God. So he's trying to get him to see, you've never been fighting with Laban. You've never been fighting with Esau. The fight that you have to win for your life has not been with them. It's always been in you. Because if you believe it's in you, there's nothing anybody can put on you that can cancel what I put in you. Before you were born, I appointed you a prophet to the nations. Dangerous to the devil. When a child of God knows the truth of who she is, to the extent that you realize that you have nothing to prove. When you know the truth of who you are, you don't post stuff to prove stuff. When you know the truth of who you are, opinions don't validate you anymore. They only confirm what you already knew. Compliments are a poor diet for you to live off of. Touch somebody, say, I don't live off of that. That's what I'm trying to say. I live off of truth. I don't live off of an opinion. If I know what God says about me, why would I give up what God says about me for an opinion of what somebody thinks about me who didn't make me, form me, knit me, call me, bleed for me, die for me?
We are advised to thine own self be true. Assimilating to what society suggests is normal can be a weapon of psychological torture. If you aren't careful, you will become an actor on a stage full of pretenders. You can end up picking activities that align with acceptance and don't match passion. You begin wearing clothes that aren't consistent with your taste. And regrettably, we live in a culture where to be different is an act of resistance. When you are not living your truth, you end up dying a lie. Because you will not admit that you are a misfit, you force friendships. You choreograph conversations. You become intentional to appear sociable. And you smile so that observers won't feel alarmed. That modern day prophet, Kendrick Lamar, that said, all my life I had to fight. So a lot of times you end up spending time alone, and it's not punishment, it's a retreat. Because by yourself is the only place where you can feel safe. And folk who really don't understand the anatomy of your character falsely ascribe you to be arrogant, stuck up, and standoffish. And they don't understand, in this season of my life, I am just drained from having to dummy down my intelligence just so mediocre people can feel comfortable. While everyone seems to enjoy movies, you would rather go to a play that actually has a plot, to hear poetry. Friends want you to meet at a restaurant, but you'd rather stay in and try new recipes. You just don't get any fulfillment from useless hours on Facebook. You'd rather read a book or actually have a conversation. The radio is inundated with trap music, but your contentment is in jazz, neo-soul, and Afro-punk. Everyone dresses straight out of Nordstrom's and Belk's and Macy's, but for what you're looking for, you can only find it online. The complexity of your personality has a very low tolerance for stupidity. And so you get angry when people are talking about trivial matters that really have no substance or grounding. And they don't understand in this season of your life, you are not caught up in TMZ. And you don't even care what socialites are doing, because you understand, as far as you are concerned, your life and your children and your family are the only things that matter. I'm talking to grown-ups who are tired of immature adults who act like children. You got an attitude because I didn't speak to you, and what you don't know is I didn't even see you. My mind was on something else, and I'm trying to operate at a different dimension. You have to have comfortability in your own uniqueness without renting and leasing other people's approval. When you get up in the morning, you got to make up in your mind, if nobody else likes this, I'm wearing it. If nobody else wears their hair like this, this is what I want. If nobody else understands the reason why I've got to downsize, and my downsize is not a downgrade, it is a mature decision about the financial predicament I found myself in. And so I am no longer trying to impress people with money I don't have. Watch this, with people who are really broken than me. I need God to put me in a circle of people that I can expose my nakedness to, and they won't judge me, but they'll love me in spite of my frailty, in spite of my brokenness, in spite of my inadequacy. They can know who I really am and still make the decision to love what I represent. It's the reason why you got an ego. You got an ego because you understand, if God be for me, who can be against me? There's a reason you got an ego. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. There's a reason why family members don't get you, because the Bible says, when my mother and my father forsake me, that's the time that the Lord will lift me up. You got a reason to have an ego. You got everything you have, and you didn't have to sleep with nobody. You didn't have to compromise your character. You didn't have to reduce your integrity, but you understood, if you're faithful over a few things, he'll make you ruler. It says good morning, but God says, when the last time you praised me, here it is, for who I removed. When is the last time you worshiped me, that I alleviated who you thought you couldn't live without? When is the last time you gave me glory, when you looked at how silly you used to be? How you were hitting your head over cinder blocks for somebody who didn't even match your destiny, didn't even find congruence with your call, would have been the biggest embarrassment to your anointing. When is the last time you thanked me for your season of loneliness that you didn't even understand I needed you by yourself, because there were some things that I needed to download into you? I'm going to say this to you, and I'm getting ready to shift. Hallelujah. The gifting that God has given to me, the anointing that God has given to me, is dream interpretation. And I want to share this, and I'm getting ready to set some people free tonight. I want you to know, whenever God gives a dream to somebody in the Bible, check it from Genesis to Revelations. Whenever God gives a dream to somebody, from Genesis to Revelations, every time he gives them a dream, hear this, they're in the bed alone. You just missed it. God never gave a dream to somebody who had somebody laying next to him. Because I needed you to be clear my voice, clear my instruction. I needed you to know this ain't pillow talk, but I am speaking to your inner you. I am so thankful for the 3 people you have survived. I'm thankful for the 3 people God has now put an angelic restraining order on. It's calling you to be. God said, throw the whole script away. I need you to be your authentic and legitimate self. Throw away pretending a role that other people have put you in. And again, this whole soul tie is not just who you sleep with. The role that you are forced to play when you go home to family. Because they always want you to be little bit, always want you to be Pookie, always want you to be man, and don't understand you have matured, you have grown, you have evolved, you have developed. I'm telling you, some of you got to break. You got to break the soul tie from ministries that can only see you in a subservient position, but will never elevate you to lead. You got to break the soul tie from businesses and office relationships. You got to know you ain't on that job to make friends. Get your check and get out of there. Stop playing the role. And says, maybe now.
And at the center then there have to be the far in people. So this is the domain of jokers. Now, having developed that side of the joker, the person who sees through the social institutions as games, I went on in the second session to discuss another aspect of the joker as the sly man, in comparison with the monk, the fakir, and the yogi, who undertake all those 3, undertake in certain different ways disciplines which have the intent of releasing them from their karma. The individual, in other words, challenges his involvement, his attachments, his limitations, his finitude, and endeavors to overcome it. But in each of these 3 cases, the individual involved stirs up an immense opposition, because he serves notice upon the devil, or shall we say upon his karmic creditors, that he is about to leave town. And so all the creditors come rushing to the door. All his past sins catch up with him. And the devil lays his temptations in the way all the more thoroughly. So that the sly man is the one who, when he is going to leave town, does so instantaneously without any prior announcement. And so in this way there is, shall we say, a cunning manner of becoming a Buddha. And that is to become one instantly, without any preparation or warning whatsoever. This is why Zen is called the sudden school, and why Satori is a sudden awakening. To discuss another aspect of the joker as the sly man, in comparison with the monk, the fakir, the rat race can have an axle firmly planted. And at the center, the whole thing of the joker is he comes into being, as it were, at the point when the anxiety interpretation of the trembling becomes the laughing interpretation. We were talking about monks who had skulls in their cells to remind them of mortality. And we think a grim thing. The skull is a grim thing. But Chesterton had the poem about the skull chattering finch and waterfly are not merrier than I. Here among the flowers I lie, laughing everlastingly. No, I may not tell the best. Surely, friends, I might have guessed, death was but the good king's jest. It was hid so carefully. So you can see the skull, not as a grim thing, but as a laughing thing.
It's like you always know what somebody going through. You are leveling up. It's like you know what they thinking. It's like you always got the answers for them. You leveling up. You starting to become connected with everybody. Even people that's nothing like you, even people that don't believe in your beliefs, even people that's religious. You don't judge them. You start to kind of relate to what they believe in. It's not relating like you believe in it, but you respect it. You get what I'm saying? You see where they coming from. What I'm trying to say is you start being connected with everybody. That's another sign.
Those shots that you will do little manipulative stuff to you because they feel some type of way about your being, who you really are inside. They see how content you are with stuff, because it can be a good thing to be content and it can be a bad thing. And I'm gonna put it like this: a bad way of being content is like not having a job, not doing stuff with your life that can benefit you. You that content in life where you don't want to do anything else but just sit around and mow. That's the bad way of being content. But the good side of being content is like you on your hustle, you doing everything that you want to do possibly to get you some income or make you happy, and you fine with not doing the most, not having the big house, not having the fast cars, all the jewelry and the money. That's the perfect way of being content. And people hate when you content like this, especially when they have the stuff that you don't have and they see you enjoying life more than them. Because in all actuality, that's why people go buy stuff like that, because they not happy with themselves. So they have to go find everything outside of themselves, like jewelry, a big house that they really don't need, cars that they really don't even want to drive like that, or they don't have enough time to drive because they so busy trying to do all these hustles and not even enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? And they are the most envious people, because they hate to see people who don't have what they have being content. Like, why you not trying to get where I'm at? Like, why you not trying to do what I'm doing? Because maybe these people are content with what they doing. You know what I'm saying? If we start really appreciating what we have, people wouldn't act up the way they acted up. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people worried about how they shower look, how many showers they got in they
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Eli Talks TV, and I'm back with another vid. Now, in this video, y'all, I would like to discuss the problem that a lot of people who are socially, I guess, unaccepted. I want to talk to the people who are socially unaccepted, the people who don't necessarily fit in the norm, who like to go their own route, who like to do their own thing, that like to rebel against social norm, social society, social cues, and social terms that make you, let's just say, a normal human being. The people who like to stay to themselves, the people that no one really understands to the further extent. It's like you have to get to know me to really understand how or who or why I move the way I move. I want to talk to the people who are outcasted, the people who are always shunned out, the people who didn't necessarily talk or didn't necessarily do a lot in their life, but always got the blame for almost everything in their life. I want to talk to the people who necessarily have a gift, have a certain uniqueness about their personalities, about their attitudes, and about the way they move, but they're very quiet, stern, and very focused. A lot of times your focus and your quietness and your sternness can get misconstrued for arrogance. A lot of times it can get misconstrued for he's being too cocky, or who does he think he is, or who does he or she think they are to not really find interest in what I like to find interest in. A lot of times you find yourself not finding interest in a lot of the things that people find interest in, like money, cars, clothes, women, or for my females, a lot of these materialistic things like Birkin bags, having all these other men at your side, at your beck and partying, drinking, following the modern day individuals' social norm of being accepted. A lot of times you don't feel accepted, but you don't feel like you need to be accepted. A lot of times you don't need a lot of people around you, but you need people to get you to your purpose. A lot of times you may feel like, man, I love people, but at the same time, I don't fuck with people. A lot of times you feel like that. If I'm talking to any misfit, if I'm talking to anybody that feels like they are really not of this world, like this world is really foreign to who they are, then I'm talking to you. This video is for you. This video is coming through God to push through from me as a message to you. And I feel like a lot of us are roaming around this earth and we have spiritual gifts. You are not you are foreign of this world. If you are created and made in Christ, if you follow God, if you follow what God says, and you follow the commandments, and you don't actually get out as much as other people, but you stay to yourself, you're very intelligent, you are very wise, you are very observant, you are very keen to your environments, very sensitive. You know, that's another key thing too. You're very sensitive to problems, to people, but you can pick out those and pinpoint those problems that a lot of people can't pick out and pinpoint. Why? Because you are so observant, you are so emotionally intelligent that you can pick up things that a lot of people can't pick up. You can solve things that a lot of people cannot solve. You are almost like the modern day misfit. You are almost like the modern day prophet. You know what I'm saying? You are almost like the modern day empath. You're very empathetic. You're very empathetic. You are, like I said, you're very sensitive. Understand? And if you feel like a problem is starting to arise within your environments, within the people that you have around you, then you cut them off. Or you feel drained. Am I getting anywhere? You feel drained by people who do not talk the way you need to be talked. You have a specific love language that people don't understand. You have a specific language about yourself that people do not understand. There's a specific way God made you. Now this is a very unique way. Don't ever feel like just because you don't find interest in a lot of the things that other people like to do outside of God, really, that you're not good enough, that you're not of any value in this earth, because you are of the most value, if anything, on this earth. Why? Because you serve a greater purpose, whether you realize it or not. Whether you realize it or not. And a lot of times, man, we find ourselves hiding from society because we don't want to be seen, because we get a lot of attention. We get a lot of attention without even wanting to get attention. And what I want to point to, the key thing is, we have a gift that's inside of us that allows us to get that attention, because there's a specific gift that's been ordained through people like you and me, misfits, empaths, prophetic individuals, individuals who don't really follow what everybody else likes to follow, because we don't really care. We don't really find interest in it. It doesn't excite us. We have certain things that we do as a routine that excites us and only us, right? So we have to understand the very things that make us happy. We have to understand the very things that make us go and make our clocks tick. So you have to understand, what is it in this life that makes me happy? Now, I know that I'm different. I know that I'm not socially accepted all the time. I know that I like to move different. I know that I like to stay to myself. But how do I get this gift inside me, right, to really fluctuate in the public and make people realize what type of gift that God has bestowed upon me? Well, this is my answer to you. My answer to you is, get a YouTube, man. Get a platform that allows you to express yourself in the highest form, the highest way possible, without anybody, I guess, judging you in a sense. I mean, you're going to be judged either way. You're going to have people that's going to look at you sideways about what you're doing and what you're producing out in this earth. But what you produce is what you produce. What you have as your key to success is not everybody else's key, because you have a specific key in you that needs to be unlocked. There's a specific door in you that needs to be unlocked with your key being your gift, right? So the gift that you have is your key. And if you don't unlock that door, then millions and millions and millions of people will end up dying because they don't realize their potential. And you are so important, empath or prophetic individual or misfit, because you bring that gift out of other people. You always wondered why is it that I can solve everybody else's problems, but I can't solve my own, right? Because you self-sabotage yourself to the point where you feel like you're not good enough, right? Because you can't be perfect in everything that you do. Misfits, prophetic people, we are very we want to be perfect in everything that we do. We want to be perfectionists. We want to have everybody. We want to people please. And a lot of times that's how we grow up. We grow up people pleasing because we never got that attention at the house, or we felt neglected at the house, so we yearn for validation from other people. And this can be very dangerous because if you feel like you have to people please all the time, you will find yourself being in draining relationships. You will find yourself being in draining situationships. You will find yourself being in draining environments. You will find yourself working on jobs that you don't really necessarily want to work at. You want to quit that job, but you still maintain that job because it's comfortable. You will find yourself in situations that are bad because you want to feel comfortable or because you want to feel accepted or validated through people. Now, this can be a dangerous thing for a misfit because the moment you realize that you do not need people to validate you, the moment you realize that you can drop anybody if they get in the way of your gift, and if they get in the way of your journey, if they get in the way of how you move, you can drop them at any point in time. But you have to grow into your higher power. And by growing into your higher power, you have got to step away from situations that do not serve you. You have got to step away from people who do not serve you. And by doing so, you gain your power back. Because that whole time you were putting in more than what you were getting out. A lot of times we find ourselves putting in more into relationships and people than we get out. A lot of times we have all the answers for other people, but people don't have all the answers for us. And it leaves us drained. And it leaves us feeling used and left out because we invested so much into that person or that place or that thing that we never got a return on our investment. And 9 times out of 10, these are the people that go through the most turmoil. These are the people that go through the most hurt because they have been chosen to endure. They have been chosen because God felt like, I guess, that he can trust a specific amount of people with the very gift that he's blessed you already with. You may wonder why you attract so much attention. It's because that light within you has to be unlocked. And a lot of times people of a low, even a low vibration, can feel that light, can see that light, but they'll never know or understand what it is. So then they'll end up judging you, or they end up looking at you different, or they end up talking about you because they don't understand who are you. What is it about this man? What is it about this woman that I admire? What is it about them that inspires me? But also I hate them because it's like I don't have what they have. So whatever it is that they have or gain or have persevered through, I have to hate on it because that's the same thing that I'm still going through. That's the same thing that I don't want to work out on. That's the same problem that I don't want to fix myself with. That's the same confidence that I a lot of times run from. That's the same insecurities that I don't really deal with. Because I like to party. You get what I'm saying? I like to have sex. I like to go through this, go through that. But really, I'm hurting inside. But I see this individual, and that individual is completely comfortable in their skin, and it irritates my demons. Am I going somewhere? So a lot of times you can irritate people's demons just off of your presence alone. Why is that? Because demons in hell, they don't like you. You got to understand that a lot of people will mistreat you because they have demons. A lot of people will judge you because they hate themselves. You gotta understand that. So a lot of times you gotta, as a misfit, as a prophetic individual, as a cast, I guess, an outsider, bro, you got to understand that you cannot beat yourself up for having this gift. Because a lot of times you wouldn't even ask for this gift. It was just planted in you by birth. By birth, you didn't even ask for this. Sometimes I say, man, God, I didn't even ask for this wisdom. I didn't ask for this gift. Why did you give it to me? Take it away. You know what I'm saying? I say stuff like that. Like, damn, like, man, let me go live the life that other people live. Let me go live it without feeling convicted. Let me go live it without feeling that there's an inner voice inside my head telling me what to do, whether it be right or wrong. It's always correcting me. There's this voice in our heads that always corrects us. Like your subconscious, or you can say your higher self or God. Man, it's always something inside you that's correcting you to do right. That's correcting you to say, hey, you did this person wrong. Go apologize. That's correcting you to say, hey, I don't need you doing that. Go back now, turn and repent for your wicked ways before you enter condemnation. Excuse me. A lot of times, y'all, bro, like, you have to realize your power. You have got to realize your power, and you have got to step into your power. I claim this year, this summer, that you step into your power and realize who you are, and realize how much power that you hold, and why you went through the things that you went through, and why these people had to leave out your life, and why these people persecute you almost every day, and why these people look at you like you're and why these people talk about you like a dog, and why these people mistreat you, because you don't realize how valuable you are yet. But you will realize it. Why? Because my videos and other people's videos on YouTube will help you realize this. That you are chosen, right? You are a chosen few. You have been chosen by God. And I feel like anybody that comes across my channel, watches my videos, are chosen. They gotta be. Because why would God point you to my channel if you weren't already chosen? If you weren't already feeling the way I feel sometimes, if you weren't already connected to me, because again, everybody is mirrors. Everybody is your reflection. We are really all one in a sense, because we all go through the same pain. It's just some people go through levels of pain on a different level than other people. You know, whether they be in the hood, whether they be in the suburbs, whether they be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through pain, but some just got it worse than others. And we just got to go through that whole dilemma as a people. But anyway, back to the message. So step in your power. Step in your power. Realize how powerful you are. Realize how important you are to this world, because you're very important. You are very important. Just because you're quiet, just because you don't really say much, and I don't like to be in the mix, and I don't like to really get in the way of people, and I like to just stay humble and shy and timid. Nah, God's not calling you to be timid anymore. God's not calling you to be shy anymore. The moment you walk outside your house, the moment you walk outside that school building, the moment you walk outside that job, you have got to carry your cross. You have got to hang your head high, and you have got to speak like you got them own 17 different buildings, like you own 5 different businesses. Like you've got to step into that power that God gifted you with, because you are so important to the fact that there was a specific mark, a godly mark, that was placed upon your life at birth. At birth, there was a specific mark that was placed upon your life at birth. And demons and ancient demons and people, even angels, have been hunting after what you have. Angels have been guiding you your whole life. I bet a lot of the coincidence, a lot of the things that go on in your life that you call coincidence are not coincidences. A lot of the dreams and visions that you sometimes acquire and see are not coincidences. A lot of the times, whenever you hear that small little voice in your head that's telling you when to move and how to move, that's not a coincidence. A lot of times when you go to another person's house, or you go to that club, or you go this place or that place, and the Lord or this inner voice is telling you to get away from them, cut them off, that there's something wrong with this individual, that there's something wrong with this environment, that there's something wrong with this place, that's not coincidence. I don't want you to feel like a lot of the things that you go through are for your demise. These things are not for your demise. These things are here to help you grow and help you get stronger in life as an individual and as a chosen people, as a chosen few of God. Because you, whether you like it or not, you have been ordained by God and you have a specific healing gift that has the power to restore the whole entire world if you wanted to. But Satan is after you so bad. Satan is attacking you so bad with spiritual warfare on a day-to-day basis because he realizes if you get to your gift, if you realize who you are, it's over for him and his kingdom. Because once you step in your power, then a lot of the things that you go through, a lot of the things that used to bother you, no longer bother you anymore. A lot of the things that used to get on your skin, a lot of the people that used to get on your skin, you cut them off. You don't even deal with them anymore. And you have a certain type of peace amongst your life because you realize no one else outside of this earth, no one else outside of me is going to be able to give me the peace and love and understanding that I need. So I have to go to God. A lot of times God will make it personal with you that you have to go to him. He will allow you to go through pain because he will make it his omniscient to allow that pain to connect you further with God. That's how it works with most of us. That's how most of our lives have been. A lot of things that I go through in life, I ask God all the time, like, man, why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is she leaving out my life? Why is he leaving out my life? Why is this person doing this to me? Why is that person doing it? But I stopped asking why, and I stopped asking, let your will be done. Let your will be done. It is what it is. Let your will be done. It is what it is. Peace be among you. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be among you. It is what it is. Let your will be done. The moment they leave out your life, the moment they do you wrong, peace be still. A lot of the things that happen in your life will not make sense, but you have got to come to a realization that your life will, nine times out of 10, it won't make sense right now, but it's all there for a greater good. It's all there for your testimony. It's all there for you to grasp and learn from and grow stronger in. Mentally, mental strength will be your greatest virtue in this time. Mental strength. I want y'all to have mental strength in this summer of 2021 because things are going to start getting hard, very hard. Life is going to start hitting a completely 180, and things and places and people will start to turn on other people. There will be darker and darker and darker energy amongst the people. There will be a lot of killings. There will be a lot of things that will happen, a lot of betrayal, a lot of snitching, a lot of things that you thought, a lot of people that you thought wouldn't leave your life will start leaving your life. They will start breaking off like damn leaves almost. But you have to understand that there's a greater good for your purpose. You do hold value. You hold value. You are important to this universe. You are important to God. You are important to this world, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, no matter how many people leave you, no matter how many people discard you, no matter how many times that Satan tries to remind you that you ain't enough, you are enough, and you have always been enough. You have always mattered. You have always been here on a mission for a purpose because you are important. You are a top priority in your life. No one else has to come to you to tell you who you are. You know who you are. God knows who you are. So walk in your power. Walk in your power. And don't get fake confidence from the world because the world has fake confidence. Over here, while we serve God, we got real confidence. This is real confidence. This is eternal and internal and external battles that we have faced and overcame by ourselves almost. Not almost by ourselves, but with God as well, but with God on our sides. But physically, on a physical plane, we went through most of the trials and tribulations that we went through by ourselves. Not with other people, not calling I didn't get a chance to call up other people when I was depressed. I didn't get a chance to go out with other people and friends and family when I was depressed. No one was right there. It was just me, God, and my issues and my demons that I had to fight. No one else helped me out with that, man. It was only me. So look, if you gotta travel this road by yourself, do so. Because it's nothing on this earth that's worth losing your soul. There's nothing and no one on this earth that's worth losing your integrity, your morality, the very things that you keep close to your heart. There is nothing or no one on this earth ready to lose your soul over. I promise you, and I'm telling you that here in this video. If you need that message, I pray that it reaches to you. I'm not gonna keep y'all for too long. It's already too long of a video. I just wanted to get this encouraging message out for the misfits, for the people that feel like they are not accepted. You are accepted. You are enough. You will always be enough, and you don't need other people to validate you or validate the gift that you have within you to really put that in fruition. God is gonna make you king amongst the nations. You will be singing, and your enemies will be your footstool, man. Your enemies will be your footstool. Those who talk about you, those who run their mouth about you, those who put dirt on your name will be your very footstools that you can walk on. And when you make it with a smile. Don't be bitter. Don't be jealous. Don't be none of that. Don't be like, I told you to, none of that. Just be like, hey, I told you who I was. You didn't believe me. You didn't take accountability for me. You didn't be there for me. You weren't, you know what I'm saying? You misjudged my value. And now I gotta put my foot on your motherfucking neck and show you who I am. That's how we coming, bro. That's how you should be coming this summer of 2021. That's how you should be coming from this moment on. I have to elevate. And whoever gets in the way of my elevation has got to be gone. And that's just point blank period. That's point blank period. I don't care who you knew for years. If they are causing you to drain yourself and lose your soul for, they are not worth it. Cut them off. Cut them off. Nothing is worth your soul, man. Because your gift is for you. And what's meant for you is for you. Simple as that. So again, take that as your courage and take that as your encouragement. And I feel like a lot of us needed to hear that message. Even me, myself, I needed to hear that message because a lot of times I go through things and I start feeling like, oh, I'm the only one going through this. Oh, I'm the only one on this earth that's going through all this pain and turmoil and people just leaving me and I'm such a loner. You can't think like that. You cannot think like that. You can't think like that. Don't ever find yourself thinking like that because that's a victimhood mentality and victims get passed up in life. Let's just be honest. All right. So again, I don't want to hold y'all too long. Hope you enjoyed this message. If you made it in this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, please. Share my videos. Let the world know that hell, we came, we saw, we conquered. We here now. We are here now. We are stepping into our power, and we will run things from here on out. We're gonna run things. We're gonna say no when we need to say no, and we're gonna start stepping on people, man. I say that in the humblest way, in the humblest manner as I possibly can, but we're gonna start stepping on folks. You know what I'm saying? And if they feel offended, then oh well, let them be offended. Step in your power, and if you step in your power, they gonna call it ego. That's not your ego. That's just me saying, I took your BS for long enough. Now, I'm not fooling for that no more. I'm not rolling for that no more. That's not me anymore. It's just not me anymore. Welcome to the new me. Old me is past. You still trying to dissect something that's been dead. You know what I'm saying? The old me has already died off. Why are you still visiting that tomb? Why are you still visiting that grave? You know what I'm saying? Trying to find missing pieces of my past. You know what I'm saying? Like, move on. Move on like I moved on. But some people can't do that. Some people can't do that. So again, hope y'all enjoyed this message. Deuces, man.
I'm dialed in. I don't know how to be quiet.